think Nate normally has a video to bring us in here, but
yeah, I think he usually does.
Since doing it, then we're just going in. We're live.
Oh, we live already?
We're
I was
live.
waiting for the announcement that we're live. I was just hanging out.
I think it says, yeah, we're live. That's what it says on the screen.
Okay.
So, and Nate is not with us tonight. He's with family, taking care of some family matters. So we're sending Nate our best, and we're going to try and do our best here in the studio.
Yes.
We have a guest in the studio.
We do. Yeah.
We have Andrew Wenk, Steady Hand Brewing, head brewer.
Head brewer.
Steady Hand.
Master head brewer.
Yes.
Yeah, just call me brewmaster. Go
That's
ahead,
it.
fine,
Good.
and I'll just correct
Brewmaster.
you, and then you'll call me brewman. Yeah, okay, it's all
We'll
good.
just go through that. The
Yeah,
whole show.
yeah,
We'll
just do that.
way.
It's fine.
It'll work out. It'll work out.
The brew man.
Well, we're back. A few minutes late here. Sorry, y'all. We were remote for our last show, so we have to reconfigure and re-sound check the studio. A couple things were out of whack, and
Things were unplugged.
yeah, but we got it all figured out. We got it all together. So, Brian, how's your week going?
It's been a long one.
You've had a couple of things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's been stuff, things and stuff. It's been very busy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I compartmentalized myself. I don't even think about that. It's like I'd have to go dig that out of a locked cabinet, in my brain right
The
now.
stuff
So,
it's locked. We're gonna leave
like
that
I
there.
keep my demons in a closet. I lock that
Yeah.
closet. Come over here and I drink beer. It's fun.
That's
It's
like
fine.
we said. We just say, when someone's like, "How you been?" Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Life could be falling to absolute pieces.
That's
but
right.
That's the correct answer to
Well,
that.
I've locked all that away. That room is on fire. This one isn't.
That's
though.
right.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
This is fine. It's in a locked cabinet. It's a fire safe cabinet.
It is. So it keeps all the fire inside.
Brian pulling the drawer out, flames it out, slides.
Hang
the
on,
drawer
I need
back.
that sheet of paper. All right,
Let's
back in.
close that back up there. Sometimes you got to do it, man.
Screams and stuff.
Each segment of life has its own problems. Work, personal.
I'm looking forward to the fourth segment of life. That's
The
the
fourth
one.
segment of
That's the
life.
one where you got a good buzz.
Get
right?
all lit up and don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day, Brian. One day you'll make it to the fourth segment.
The fourth segment. Looking forward
All
to
right.
the fourth segment. All
Well, I
right.
tell you what, y'all, thanks so much again for joining us here for the live stream. If you have any questions or comments for me or Brian or Andrew, leave them in the chat. We're going to get here and record a radio segment, and we'll be back in about 9 minutes and 20 seconds.
All right.
Welcome to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We are broadcasting from the Beer Guys Radio Studios. In this week's special treat, a guest in the studio again. We have Steady Hand, and I am Tim Dennis. With me, as always, my good friend, co-host, Brian Hewitt.
Hey, Tim. So joining us from Steady Hand, we have Andrew Wenk, a.k.a. Slam. Is that right? Slam?
That is right.
Yes, the Slammin' Man, the head brewer. Some call him brewmaster. For Steady Hand, we're going to talk about new beers, classic beers, getting an update, upcoming events, and maybe some drunk shopping, maybe if we get to the news. Andrew, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Great.
First bit of media since taking this position. And,
Oh,
you know,
good. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Newer to Steady Hand, but not new to brewing or Georgia beer, correct?
Georgia beer is life.
It is
I'm
life.
very
I
happy to
agree
be a
with that.
contributor to it. It is my greatest honor to be a head brewer at a Georgia brewery.
Yeah, man.
So,
It's pretty awesome. And we always love drinking.
Yeah, we do.
Drinking.
Yeah.
We enjoyed.
Right.
We've been enjoying drinking the beers that you have been brewing right along, and sometimes we didn't even know that you were the one making them. So
yeah, funny, right? Like I'd see you at 3 taverns and I'm like, yeah, I'm just a peon. So, whatever. We'll wait till the big show. And here we are, I guess, right?
The show.
yeah,
Yeah.
The show.
once
Stepping
you're on
up
our
to the
level,
show.
now we'll talk.
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, we could do it, man. We could do it. Well, again, man, thanks for coming and hanging with us. We always have a good time with that. Looking forward to
Yeah, appreciate it.
to diving into things. So, Brian, there's a beer holiday.
There is. There's
Coming up
another beer
soon.
holiday.
I love beer holidays. This one is one that I gotta admit, I haven't been down to the big celebration here in the Atlanta area, Orval Day.
Orval Day, yes.
Do you know anything about Orval Day? The only thing I really know is they drink Orval.
I started to look into it and I got busy so I didn't dive into it, but it was just one of those things where there was an article about it, and it spent a lot of time talking about the history of Orval and the Trappist. That it's a beer that's very significant that a lot of people love, and it deserves its own day. Is my understanding.
I feel like we're doing a bit of a disservice mentioning Orval Day and then not knowing the details of Orval Day.
Yeah, that may well be true, but it is around the world. I see people doing it in the Carolinas. I see people doing it. Merchant du Vin, I think, are they based out of New York? I think so.
I've heard of them.
There's a number of places like every year this is a thing, and I did not delve into it any deeper than, hey, it's a great beer. It needs its own day, just like you've got Hanapu Day. Well, what more is there to know other than they're releasing it? It's a great beer. Now, Orval is always available, but it's a great beer, and it needs a reminder that you need to drink it.
Cool.
So,
Andrew, do you know anything about Orval Day, the history and traditions of Orval Day?
You know, you'd think coming from a former Belgian brewery that you probably would.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
No.
that's not my forte. Yeah.
Well, I know we have at least a couple places here in Atlanta that celebrate. Brick Store Pub being the big one.
Yep.
They really pull out all the stops, and then, you know, they're one of those beer bars that they're going to have the right glassware. They're going to have the beer at the right temperature, probably as fresh, and I would imagine probably some vintage offerings as well. So
for sure,
definitely worth going out and celebrating the holiday.
And that beer does age well, and it's one of the neat things about it being Trappist, it does have some wild bugs in it. It's a little bit of a Brett character and some things going on there. So it's always fun to drink that. And it does very much improve with age. So
yeah. You know, Andrew, it's fun. Do you drink much Belgian beer?
So I am a big fan of a triple.
Okay. All right.
I love me some St. Bernardus. I mean, really anything that Bold Monk is doing right now, though, I'm very pleased to go and have. I love having them across the street from me at this
handy,
point.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is handy.
So, yeah, super. But yeah, I typically like the higher ABV well, what am I talking about? I love a good Saison, though. I mean, that's,
right.
You know, all right. Yeah, as the brain keeps going, it's like, yes, I drink a ton of Belgian beer. I need to quit denying that.
He's opening up those locked cabinets and finding,
that's right.
He's finding new stuff there.
Finding dusty bottles of Saisons.
Oh,
in there.
look at this Saison. I'd forgotten about it.
You know, it's hard to beat a good just Belgian style table
Saison
beer.
DuPont.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
But you know, we always talk about it, like when they do things like Orval Day, in that there was a time when Belgian beer, if you were a craft beer drinker and you wanted some variety and a little booziness, you were going to have to get into Belgians, especially if you were in Georgia. You'd have to bring in some contraband there with a little higher ABV and enjoy it. But
I heard about that. What year was that? Like
2007 or something like that, or maybe earlier than that. 7. I don't recall off the top of it. It's 6% not that long ABV.
ago in the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah,
when you think about
like a
it.
minute ago, basically.
Yeah, but cheers to Orval. Going to be a good time drinking that.
I'm gonna do my best to find a bottle in time for that, or maybe possibly make it down to one of the celebrations.
We'll see,
and then I'll find out what it's all about. Which I still suspect it's mostly let's drink this beer.
Our friends at the Nest have their anniversary this weekend, Brian.
Oh, that's right.
So maybe we could hit that, and maybe down into Atlanta for us a little Orval, a little double dipping.
Well, maybe they'll have Orval there, and I can have it there.
They might, man. You
in
just
bottles.
never know.
Well, Tim, I think we should probably get into the beers of the week.
Brian, speaking of our friends at the Nest, you know, they do sponsor this segment for us every week. We greatly appreciate that. And again, their holiday, their anniversary is this weekend. So they're throwing down there some good food going on, some special beers. I don't know if one's Orval, Brian, but there's really only one way to find out there.
Correct.
But tonight we are getting into Steady Hand. Right now we have one with a very fancy name, Lager, which I think is a lager. Am I correct?
It is a lager.
Yeah. So we're drinking lager right now. We also have their Cloudland, which is a hazy IPA. We have Chasing Satellites, which is a hazy double IPA with all New Zealand hops, and one named Nuts, which is a pastry stout.
And it seems,
and I'm not going to ask any more about that until we drink it. I'll find out.
It feels like my liquid spirit animal, honestly.
The liquid spirit animal. Yeah. And it's not in a flaming cabinet right now, so we'll be able to easily
it should be chilled
it.
very well.
Yeah, should be good. Well, Brian, you got some news for us this week?
I do. So I can pay off that drunk shopping reference. Apparently, Americans spent over $14 billion drunk shopping in the past year, or the past time the survey was released. 1 in 6 Americans, or 45 million, admit to shopping under the influence according to something called the Drunk Shopping Survey. So that's a thing. It's released by Finder.com, which I think does some things with retail, basically retail research. I've never heard of them before, but if you can believe it, the number is actually down from 21 billion the previous year. So the most common purchases, clothing and shoes, at 47%, also 47% for food. Alcohol is up there at 34%, gambling 34%, cigarettes 34%, and DVDs, movies, and streaming services 25%.
I'm disappointed that like number one wasn't like life-size dragon statues. Just like if you're gonna drunk shop, do it right.
Or like that T-Rex
Pocket
outfit.
knives.
The T-Rex outfit. Oh,
Yeah.
I've always wanted one of those. So
Right.
you just buy that.
Number one,
finally.
dragon statues. Number two, inflatable T-Rex costumes.
Who do you think does more drunk shopping, men or women?
Oh, men. I think men.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
It's definitely men. I was shaking my head, so I kind of gave that away. But yeah, only 10% of women say they've shopped under the influence. 26% of men. The West, in terms of regions, leads the pack in shopping drunks, followed by the South, then Northeast, and then finally the Midwest. So what was the last thing do you guys ever shop drunk? Have you ever bought anything while you're intoxicated?
I buy cigars.
Cigars.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I've definitely.
Brian's
Yeah, you
guilty
know,
there for
you know.
sure.
Yeah.
You drink and then you're like, oh, I need a cigar
It's like,
to fit this vibe. And that's what I
and
do.
you see a box of something. It's like, I love that cigar. Oh, then they've got like a 10 or 15% discount on it or something like that, which is common. You're like, oh, I should just definitely get that.
Yeah.
That would be
Buy
amazing
six,
right now.
get a couple bucks off.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's on sale.
Mhm.
That's it. So no, I'm not sure the last thing I got. I haven't been intoxicated in a long time. So you know what? Probably a pocket knife. I would bet because there's not a lot of stuff I buy in general. Just not a lot of shopping in general. The things I have been buying, pocket knives. So I imagine that was probably my last one. So drunk shopping's fun though. You are listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We do need to take us a break, but we'll be back right after this. Boom.
All right. I was not watching the clock as well as I should have been.
I was watching over there, so I
Okay.
knew we were getting close.
And I looked over. I'm like, oh, we're running really close
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we succeeded. Yeah. You know what? Probably the last thing I did. My last drunk purchase. I was thinking through. It probably was a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
I look at the T-Rex costume every time I'm paid. I'm like, next time.
Man,
every
see,
time.
Next time.
What if it came with like a wallet or something like that, where you could put your extra money or something like a T-Rex belt chain or something like
cool.
that?
Sure.
Just try to come up with a way to
Yeah, how are you going to bundle it
to make it a reasonable
exactly.
a reasonable
Like, well,
purchase.
this all makes a lot of sense. Like, comes with the complete works of Shakespeare. I'm like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense because I've been meaning to read that and I want that costume.
Hey, hon, a package came in for you. Oh, great! It's my complete works of Shakespeare that I've been waiting.
It's
for.
like, what is this? What?
Yes. What? That's an odd freebie that they threw in with
I
this.
was surprised by that. It was a very, very deluxe, copy of the complete works of Shakespeare. So it may be several $100s.
Yeah.
But they just threw in the costume for free. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Now, not the last thing, but what would you say your greatest drug purchase was?
Oh boy. That's tough. I'm fairly certain some of the tech that I've bought has been, I don't remember if, no, I wasn't sober. I wasn't hammered when I picked up the 3D, what's the
VR goggles?
The VR goggles. I picked those up, but I don't think I was intoxicated when I did it. I may have been emboldened a little bit by a
you
drink.
bought the projector.
Yes, I think I did buy that. I did buy.
You're like,
I did buy a high definition like micro projector thing that was real.
Short
I thought
throw.
was
I think they call it. You put it like 6 inches from the wall.
Wow.
and you give you like
a
an
70-inch screen.
yeah, it's and I've yet to find a good application for it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was one of those funding deals where you get in and it looked like a deal and they were doing a discount and I had some beers in me and I'm like, that'll be amazing. I'm gonna watch movies everywhere off of my phone,
Yeah.
possibly in the bus or something like that. I don't know.
The good thing that keeps me from splurging on most Kickstarter deals, I don't have patience. So they're like, delivery in fall of 2024. I'm like, no way. No way am I waiting for this.
Now, I did stress out about that because they kept sending me surveys like they hadn't got my mailing information. I'm like, oh my God, I spent all this money. I'm going to get screwed out of this thing. Like, I went and bought this, and now that I bought it, I definitely want to have it.
Because there have been a few that have just fallen apart, and I think a couple of them on a pretty grand scale too.
Yeah. And had I been more thorough in it, I probably wouldn't have picked it up just because I like the concept of it, but some of the features weren't quite up to par. There's weird sound issues and connectivity issues that I didn't expect, but kind of a neat device still.
The one thing that I was tempted on and still think about it every now and then is I found a water cooler water dispenser that is a dehumidifier that pulls the water out of the air, runs it through a reverse osmosis, and then charcoal filters it. And chills it and all that.
That's wicked.
Right. I'm like, oh, I want this.
Oh, that sounds, you have told me about that.
Yeah,
I would want that just because there's too much humidity in my house all the time. I would drink it. I mean, or something like why I don't need to swim through it. I don't need to breathe it. I would just, I could drink it. That'd be neat. I wonder how long it takes for you to even get a glass of water out of that thing.
So from what I recalled, like in a 24-hour period, it would pull like 2 gallons or something like that.
Really?
Like,
Wow,
a decent amount. And it came with an extra thing. So it would probably be a case where you let it run, you get you a little bit and you let it collect again and that. And I don't remember. I think the thing, like it had a storage container there that held quite a bit, but I drink water like a fish.
Yeah.
So if it was, I'd probably easily go through 2 gallons a day. So
I was just thinking, don't leave it running in your bedroom when you go to sleep. They'll find a desiccated corpse the next day.
Right.
Just suck all the juice out of your body. You're like, oh.
Maybe you can hang some beef jerky on a clothes hanger near it.
Ooh.
Just have it dehydrate that for you.
Lay a steak out next to it and you have jerky in the morning.
There you go, man.
That sounds amazing.
Right? That's
biltong
biltong they do in whole pieces like that.
Yeah, heck yeah. This is getting better and better. They need to build in a drying rack.
Y'all are real thinkers here.
Yeah.
Brian yelling to his wife, "Hun, did you put the cat's bed next to the water dispenser?"
Yeah.
So Brian come banging the cat on the.
Yeah. I got a big old good news. We got some jerky.
Yes. Yeah. He looks so peaceful there.
Yeah.
And
He's
dry.
perfectly preserved for all eternity.
Good times.
All right, let's get into another beer because I went through that lager real fast.
Oh, that's good.
Barely even.
That's a great sign.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you want?
Did you hate it so
What do you
much?
want?
You know what? I'll just go grab something. Where should we go next? Andrew, what do you recommend?
You want to do Cloudland because it's easy still and we can ramp up.
It also
8%.
sounds good. Yeah. All right. Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick checking in. No, nothing fermenting here, Patrick. Andrew's got some things fermenting.
I have things.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
What season do you think is best for drinking stouts? I
Is there a
personally think a stout
season?
is for all seasons.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt.
We did a show one time called Stouts Are for Summer.
Uh-huh.
Because Jason Pellet, Orpheus, when's his anniversary? May?
Like Memorial Day weekend or something.
He'll release 14 barrel-aged stouts. He's
Right.
like, yeah, let's do it.
No, that's fun.
I've been standing at Jason's dripping sweat. And yeah, man, let me get some of that toasted coconut whiskey barrel stout you got there.
He was just on social media recently toasting some coconut for another stout.
Yep. A stout for all seasons. This is the way.
Yes, indeed.
This is the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Michael, how you doing? Good
Hey,
to see you, man. You still in Chicago? Back in Atlanta? Firemaker. Not Firemaker. Oh my gosh.
Oh, fireman. No. Firehouse. Shit.
See, I shouldn't have said anything. Now I feel bad.
No.
Now I feel bad, but we'll let Michael give himself a shout out there. So for his brewer.
Shoot.
We had a few there that opened around each other with fire in the name.
Yeah. Now that you've said that, I can't think of anything but Firemaker.
I know. I was like, nope, that's not it.
and what Firemaker, Still Firewater? Was that one?
Is it?
Was it Firewater up in like Cartersville or something?
Help us out, Michael. Help us out, man.
Yes. He just tuned in. He is tuned
Firewater.
in. Firewater. It is Firewater.
There
Okay.
we go.
I was thinking of Boyer's. What's his? He's his
Fire and fire.
Beer and fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Too much fire. I'm burnt on fire.
And his is the combo hot sauce beer.
Yes,
there.
it's true.
I'm nursing
Insider.
him today. So, guys, I have a confession.
Yes.
Brian, you got to drive the bus as much as possible tonight because you shouldn't have someone sleep deprived as bad as I am at the wheel of a bus. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What if it's a short bus, Tim?
I definitely belong there.
Yeah. But I think you could be at the wheel in that case.
I could be
because everybody would
I could
see.
be a passenger. Yeah. So, sleep has been tough for me lately. Like trigonometry, all that easy. Sleep, no, just not happening.
So unfortunate.
Yeah,
that is my greatest skill.
I used to be pretty good at it myself, man. I used to be pretty good at it myself.
Yeah.
So,
I used to never like it. Now I do my best to get it. I
Mhm.
actually kind of fight with myself because I usually don't want to. I usually have things I still want to do or stuff I've put off and I should have still done.
Mhm.
And I'll stay up late trying to do those. And it's dumb. I should just go to bed because if the more deprived you are, the harder it is to do even the dumb things and the easy things. So it just gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
So,
Michael, is it Siebel that you're at there? He's in Chicago for some brilliant education.
Awesome.
Like we were talking
getting
about
that
earlier.
education.
So,
Yeah.
I know Siebel's there, but I don't know if they run other courses there as well. So, but yeah, man. Head brewer, brewmaster. What'd you decide your title was? Director of Intoxicology.
Doctor of Intoxicology.
Yeah.
That my homebrewing title. When we gave ourselves fake names or fake titles and BS business cards.
The brewmaster course. So
the brewmaster course.
Michael, thank you for filling us in there. I'm going to blame again the sleep deprivation that I'm using today for my brain not working well. But Michael Sorg, Firewater Brewing Company, currently in Chicago for his brewmaster's course.
Cool.
Nice.
Fun stuff.
Good stuff.
Saw pictures of him there with that green river we were talking about.
Oh,
Brian,
yeah,
so.
yeah. Did you see the orange powder that they used to turn it?
I did not. So I actually watched the video of them doing it and looked close, and I never saw anything orange. Did you?
No, I didn't go look in. I saw pictures of it before we did the story for the St. Patrick's Day show, but I didn't watch the dousing of it. I saw pictures of it having already been turned green.
Well, that one hit for a while.
Wow, that's
there we go.
Yeah, that outage was fun.
Welcome back, internet. Good to have you. So I saw it was like a very high shot of a chunk of the river. And they had a couple of boats out there driving along, and you'd see all the water, all of a sudden the water would start turning green, and then they do like donuts in the water with their boats.
I did see videos
and
of
there
donuts.
was a couple other big, looked like party boats that went out there and kind of did some fast maneuvers around, looked like they were trying to stir it up. I'm like, that's pretty cool. That looks like fun. That looks fun.
I just assumed it was something lame, like guys with hoses on the side of the river, but doing donuts, I'm like, oh, they do it that way. That's kind of neat. Like now I know why people want to do that. Well, according to the article I read,
in your boat to mix up the river. That's pretty cool.
According to the article I read, that powder is not supposed to be environmentally damaging, but it does turn everything it comes in contact with orange except water, apparently.
Bunch of orange fish in a green river out there.
That would be interesting.
That'd be kind of cool.
Everything's a gold.
Like, oh my God, I hate this time of year.
Everything's a goldfish in the river this time of year.
All these fish getting pinched. It's like, it's not my fault.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't do this. I'm naturally a little green.
Shall we jump back in, Brian?
Okay, yes.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. Remember, all episodes are available on demand. So if you missed the broadcast, get the podcast. Beer Guys Radio is available on the Podcast Park and all popular and unpopular podcasting apps. Now let's get back to Steady Hand Beer Company.
Steady Hand. You guys are drinking faster than me. I'm still nursing my lager, but you guys have actually moved on to some Cloudland there, right?
We have, yes.
Is it Cloudland or Cloudland? What is the proper pronunciation here?
I think you go Cloudland, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I don't say Cloudland Canyon, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be
Do you?
Cloudland.
Yeah, Cloudland.
I
Right.
might.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's what I
don't
would
know.
do.
That
That's
works.
my
We'll go with
suggestion.
Cloud-Land.
Well, Andrew, currently with Steady Hand, but we're gonna back it up a little bit and come up to Steady Hand.
Okay.
So
Trip down memory lane.
we know your beers first or previously with Three Taverns
Mhm.
Brewing here in Atlanta, Decatur, actually.
Yes.
And you were there 2017 till December of last year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. What'd you think of partying with those guys?
Their family. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a time. I mean, I would never never wish it any other way to get into this industry, grind, and get to where I am today. So they're badass. Great.
They're great.
Yeah, they're great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, working with Yoron in the beginning, and over at Halfway Crooks, and moving to Riley and then Neil. That's just, I'm very lucky to have those three.
Was there anything in particular that you were responsible for brewing there, or any styles or any particular beers that were your children, so to speak?
So one that you may be familiar with, Martyr's Breath, was one of the big stouts that was my baby, a rye stout with tonka bean and vanilla. Probably released, I don't know, sometime over the summer, maybe. But
I believe that I drank that beer out of a Magnum, possibly
at Brick Store.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
That was
yes.
such a cool day.
Dave Blanchard personally pouring it into my tasting. Was that their 22nd, 25th anniversary, somewhere in there?
It might have been.
We're in the
most
20s,
recent one.
right?
It was a very significant one, hence the partying.
But that
yeah.
beer was one of the special beers for the anniversary of Brick Store Pub recently, the 20-something anniversary of Brick Store.
So it was
And
pretty
Dave
cool.
Blanchard, one of Brick Store's owners, went around, pouring samples for everybody. And I remember that was stellar.
Thank you.
And it involved us doing as we call it, an internet poll into looking up the Tonga beans and all how controversial those little beans
Yeah.
are, right?
Like technically, quasi, possibly not legal to put in food or something. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
No one
just
knocked
made
on the
the
door
beer.
and said no.
That's
so,
right.
That's
right.
We're good.
Purcell, as I recall, was quite happy in spreading the interesting controversial rumor about these beans are a little questionable. I don't know if you want to drink it.
Yeah.
Hence the name's Martyr's Breath.
I tell you what, since we're mentioning that, these beans, they're obviously you can get them in the US because they're in the beer, but I guess in higher doses they can be toxic, right?
Yes. I forget if it is like same element as like what is in fentanyl or something.
Okay.
But it's
All right.
kind of adjacent to something that you could overdose on if you had like, I don't know, 30 pounds of
80,
tonka
if
beans.
you ate a whole bag.
Like
sack.
it would
But
be
you'd
so,
be so high.
right. But they don't look good. They don't, really smell good. It's whenever it's in solution, that's whenever it becomes good to me.
And why are they? Because I've seen other beers that use them, and they seem to be pretty prized by brewers. What do you get from these beans, and what makes them attractive put in a beer?
So for Martyr's Breath, there was a sense of cinnamon in the beer, but there was no cinnamon in the beer.
I remember
that's right.
that.
That's what I
There
thought.
definitely was a neat, like woody cinnamon presence that was
the woody
very
cinnamon.
enjoyable.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which I think you get from some cinnamon in itself by itself, but that was an interesting thing. There's some other woods I think that do that. Amberana wood or whatever.
wood.
I love non-cinnamon things to give cinnamon flavor, but actual cinnamon in beer almost always is overdone, I've found. So I'd like cinnamon coming from other sources other than cinnamon.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. We Neil had done an Amberano sometime at the Imaginarium, like maybe 2 years ago, and it was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It just outstanding cinnamon character. And it's like from wood. What do you know?
Yeah,
Granted, I mean-
I love things like that. Like you said, whether it's wood or different hops. That we had was it called Thiolized, Brian?
Oh, the thiolized lager. Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
I mean, it was like you were drinking mango juice, but there was no mango in it at all. It was just from these particular hops they used. And
Well, no, it's the yeast. The yeast was
it's
producing.
the yeast.
It was like
Okay.
it had been heavily dry hopped and got the mango and all your great yeast flavors out of it.
Mhm.
And it was an interesting delivery because it was I think it was a fairly plain lager, but it was like it had, or no, maybe a fairly plain pale ale, but it tasted like it had been very heavily doctored with hops. It hadn't been really hardly at all, like all boil edition hops. And that was it.
Pretty fancy stuff, man.
Yeah.
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 So Andrew, then moving on up, speaking of anniversary, Steady Hand joined them. You joined them in December and they just celebrated their fourth or you just celebrated you
And me.
fourth anniversary, correct?
Yep. 4 years.
How was that, man? What was the party like there?
It was cool. So we filled up the tap list probably for, I don't know, maybe the first time ever. Not sure.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's what I hear. So 24 taps, 3 bands, big crowd, great energy. It's really what the what you're looking for, I think, in a nanny. Not like what am I trying to think of?
Funeral?
Just
A funeral.
not
It's not like a funeral.
Like,
Yeah.
we're a really spacious venue. We have great acoustics, I think, to have live shows, and it's just a nice vibe. It really is.
Yeah.
Annie was great though. A lot of good food vendors there, and crowd was just going nuts over. I think we tapped a blood orange Weiss beer.
Okay.
And I just kept hearing people going, "Oh my gosh, that's it. That's the one." And I'm just like, really? Out of all the beers here today?
Really? Yeah. I saw the list. You had like 18 pastry stouts on there or something like that. Usually people like, oh, this one with Oreo, which we might drink later. The Oreo one is like, oh, this is the one. But so they went the orange Weiss beer. Huh?
Yeah, it was a little wacky to me. Like, you got all these double IPAs, all these stouts, and I mean, it's the crowd that you have there. I mean, I think the fun part about the brewery to me has been it's a clientele that likes the light, crushable. I'm going to be here for several hours and I want to be able to get home safely. So, you're crushing lager, wheat beer, maybe a little dip your toe into the stout, but yeah.
Little
just
taste.
different crowd.
Go back to those
very different crowd
crushers,
from what I'm used to.
those session beers.
Indeed. You said you have 24 taps. How many taps do you typically have? Like 24 is, I think that's way more than anything sort of like the brick store might have that I would ever see. So what do you typically have on a weekend or whatever?
So I've just been trying to build up from, I think when I started, they had their lager, a previous batch of, a pale ale. I think they had a pale ale on and a couple of sours. And since then we have introduced Cloudland, a couple of variants of Cloudland, trying to, fill out a little bit more in the fresh hops atmosphere. And then got new lager on, got wheat beer, and we're just trying to, keep diversity going and giving everyone something to enjoy. Because like the West Side Ale Trail, it's fantastic place to drink. I mean, you have a wide array. You have the, round trip doing the German thing. You have Bold Monk going Belgian. Yeah. Good diversity. I feel like I can fill in for a little for everyone.
Little something for everyone in that area, right?
Appeals to everyone, yeah.
Good stuff. Well, you're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We need to get us a break, but we'll be back right after this.
All right. We are clear. Yes.
All right.
BRB.
All right.
I will tighten all that up because I'm
yeah.
Talking.
See. Oh, cheers from Texas. Hey, Tyler, how you doing? Tyler in Texas. He's always sending us messages talking about beer and that sort of thing. You ought to join us on what is the Discord? Yeah.
Discord.
We got a Patreon Discord. So
okay.
People that get on the Patreon. So we kind of hang out there throughout the day and talk about beer and everything else we happen to see throughout the throughout the week, because there's always something crazy coming on. Like what was it? Pickle ranch dressing? Like somebody just Hidden Valley released a pickle ranch dressing, like in a bottle. Like Frank's did a pickle red hot that just dropped some sort of limited release, so you can only order from the website. I actually did order it. I haven't got it yet, but I think everybody else might be doing that same kind of thing where, hey, you know what? Our product, what it needs, pickles, still pickles. Yeah, we'll just throw a lot in there. So I think there's a ranch dressing, and obviously there's been a ton of pickle beers. Have you done a pickle beer yet?
I have not done a pickle beer.
Are you gonna do one?
We'll see. I mean, I'm cool with
what do you think?
beers,
I was gonna say, what do you think about the pickle beer concept?
If you like it, great.
Yeah.
I'm not finding that quenching typically.
Okay.
But it's like
so you don't go into the fridge and you see that pickle jar that's mostly juice left and just take a hit off the juice when you
No, that's not me. I do enjoy pickles, but just pickles and beer. Like, that's not my deal. So
yeah, I think pickles and beer, if they're fried pickles, I think that
is appropriate.
Adding a level of fry to it does take them into the right range. I get what you're saying. Like the pickles by themselves in the beer, I don't dislike the idea, but it doesn't speak to me quite as much. It's like a fried pickle and beer.
It's like I kind of feel like I know how that's gonna go. it's probably about the same for everyone in a way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just let's not do that.
Well,
Stick with hops
what you're
or-
saying is it's not going to go well.
not for me. No, no. So
Here's the crazy thing: Martin House comes out with a pickle beer, and it sells out like immediately. Like I think they've released several pickle beers, and people go nuts buying them. And I get, you know what? I like the flavor of them.
You ready for another one?
Oh, yeah.
What you want?
Where are we going next? We're going Chasing Satellites, or let's do Chasing Satellites.
Chasing
Yeah, that's
Satellites.
probably a good idea.
it is the CS in the blank cans with the orange pack tech. CS. Real official here.
That's getting canned soon. Yeah,
It is getting canned.
we
soon.
can give that a little.
That will be canned and labeled next week. Maybe labeled next week. It's a pedal labeler, so takes a little time. But
Okay.
Yep, one can, one kick of the leg. That's how that works out.
Cha-chunk.
So I
Cha-chunk.
Oh, that's thick.
was about to say
Tyler,
you.
cheers, man. They may have already said it.
We did say, but
Where's the phone?
yes. I was telling Tyler he needs to get on our Discord server, our Patreon
Yes,
Discord server.
the
He needs to
Discord,
do
there's
that.
Good chat there.
Yeah, we're on there hanging out. We were talking about the whole pickle thing came from the ranch dressing pickle stuff, and then the Frank's Red Hot pickle thing. So
Yeah.
the dumb things that we're buying that we should only buy when we're drunk, but we're buying when we're sober is happening. We're talking about it on there.
The Discord server is a new upgrade for us. We got brewers on there hanging
Okay.
out.
Our buddy Stan.
Only $5 a month. It's well worth it.
Yes,
It's
yes,
well worth
so
it.
worth
Well
it.
worth it. And if you're like, man, that sounds great. I'd like to know where I can do that. Just go to patreon.com/beer guys.
Patreon.com/beer guys.
Ugh.
Gotten used to saying that because that's in one of the segment
That's one
things.
of your shouts,
Yeah, that's
right?
quite nice.
Shouts, Texas. Tyler, I've got a lot of my day job friends heading to San Antonio tomorrow for a big work outing, and they're going to, I forget the name of it, but it's a big 5-star resort just outside of San Antonio. But they're going to go down there, and it's got spa, massages, and pools in the Texas Hill Country, I believe they
Okay.
call it. So I think it's like 6 miles from San Antonio.
As
I think
long
is
as
what
when they
said.
go, they remember the Alamo.
They need to. They need to. I don't want to keep being a broken record, but I wanted to tell everybody that was going, hey, when you go to the Alamo, look
Oh
for
yeah,
my second cousin, 4 times removed. All right. Micaiah Autry. His name's on the monument there. He was one of the guys that fought and
Oh,
died
wow.
at the Alamo. So, and fun story, in order to try and avoid a battle, he was known to be the best sharpshooter amongst the guys there. And he was chosen when Santa Anna made his rounds on horseback, like just kind of patrolling in the evenings. He was chosen to take a shot and take out Santa Anna to end. And he missed. So then everybody got killed.
Oh,
such a disappointment.
what a legacy.
Yeah. So
My favorite story about
I
it is
believe he
going
did
there
his
and
best.
taking a picture and saying I might be related to him and having Tim lose his mind.
Yeah.
Because I think we're distantly related, like cousins going way back. I can't prove it,
I
but
have Hewitt in like just one step over in my family. So my
yeah,
cousin, I always lean back when I don't have my headphones on. I got
because we are still live streaming.
we're still out there, but my cousin Jeremy, shout out to Gus. We grew up pretty much like brothers, and he's a Hewitt. So
I figured
the other Hewitt is what I call my cousin when talking to him, and then when I'm talking to my cousin, he's the other Hewitt.
Yeah, the other Hewitt. So I just assume that because I think his family, my family, all probably come from the same kind of weird West Virginia, Pennsylvania, blah, blah, blah area type of thing. It's like the likelihood of a distant relation.
Tyler is
there.
Roadmap. That's San Antonio, right? Right,
Yeah,
Brian? Didn't you go to Roadmap?
I did go to Roadmap. We had
And
them
you
on the
met
show
with,
too. Yeah,
we did. And you met up with old Kelly KFM Meyer there, right?
That's right. KFM Meyer, Kelly
Yeah.
KFM Meyer. We hung out. We went to a couple of different places. We went to, I'm trying to remember the one that we went to that had a little buzz. There were a hot new thing over there. We checked that out. Heck, that was around Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Because I had Oktoberfest beers everywhere I went. So
Kelly's been on our show. He hosts the How Not to Start a Damn Brewery
how not to start a damn brewery.
podcast. He wrote a book, and apparently he irritated a lot in the beer industry when he first wrote his book. And by his own admittance, he was a little saltier then. So he said he's kind of he's mellowed out a little bit. Now he has people on his podcast from Feld Beer Ventures or breweries to just kind of debrief, I guess.
Triage or whatever.
Others, yeah.
Like go over.
Triage is the other end. Right?
Oh, is that like
it's like stabilizing something to treat it?
Oh, okay. No, it's far too it's far too late for fixing. It's the patient is dead at this point. So no, there's no triaging.
You're the coroner.
My bad.
So.
That lager's nice, man.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm nursing it, but it's
appreciate it, man.
It's quality beverage.
That's okay. I'll drink enough for both of us. I'm over here. I'm drinking for two.
Yeah, roadmap. They were cool. I enjoyed talking with them.
Yeah.
Did you say you're drinking for two?
I'm over here. I'm drinking for two. What?
Brian's in his 92nd trimester.
That's right
there. So,
all right. Do we want to get started onto the next thing?
Let's do it. Segmenta 3.
All right.
920. You know what? I cut us a little short there. That was a 920.
It was. Yeah.
We're close enough. I can make that fit. I can fit it within the puzzle piece there.
All right.
10-minute puzzle piece.
I will try to remember to
920.
Keep an eye on it. 920. All right. Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our great radio affiliates, WERL 950 AM in Eagle Rock, Wisconsin. Eagle River, Wisconsin. Catch Beer Guys Radio on WERL every Saturday at 8 a.m. Listen to us while you have a shower beer. I've clearly had too many shower beers today.
There you go. All right.
Now let's get back to Steady Hand Beer Company. I can't do any of this.
It's possible. Are you the one that's sleep deprived?
Osmosis. Is that how that transfers? So it could be. Yes,
that's fair.
It could well be me.
Well, you made it through it, Brian. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That. So that's good. Slam, how'd you get the nickname Slam?
There's two stories there.
Okay.
The first one, I was a child basically when I joined the industry, and I just used to throw
in my
things
youth.
around.
I was a child.
Yep, about a little over 5 years ago, just concrete and dropping pallets makes a very loud noise, and it just makes everyone very angry all around you. So that's one way that I got it. But really, what cemented it, I don't know if I should. Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about it. So when I drink a lot, I like to give hugs, and I like to pick people up. And sometimes I swing you around, and sometimes you get stuck, and I drop you on your head. And he was okay. He joined me at 320 Fest at Max Loggers the next day. But that is basically how I earned the name Slam.
That's great.
Was that a full-on body slam? Did you just go wrestling on him?
We were spinning around. My wife's like, Andrew, you're drunk. Put him down. And I'm like, okay. And I let him go, and his head just cracked the pavement. And I kept he was scraped off an eyebrow. It was bad. It was bad. But he's still my friend. He was a great cellarman for me for years. And
R.I.P. Wait, he's still around.
Still around.
Okay.
Still around. Nothing will ever kill him.
What is it? Statute of limitations that's beyond that at this point?
Yeah, we can discuss it now,
So now we're good. We are good.
He's using his buddy as a weed eater over there. Spinning him around. Yeah.
Like he came into Max Loggers the next day, no eyebrow at all, just a big bandage over his head. And I was just like, oh God, I'm so sorry. But I got a name out of it, and that's cool.
That's a much better story than dropping pallets.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I always give the first one, but I know everyone wants the juice. So
yeah. One day Brian can tell you how he became known as the Pretzel Walrus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure anybody really knows the full story.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I
know. Well, Andrew, new at Steady Hand, and I know anytime you step into a new brewery and a head brewer role, there's a combination of wanting to keep what the fans already love there, but kind of doing your own thing, as well. So, kind of what's your plan for your own thing at Steady Hand?
Well, my own thing. So luckily, I've kind of been given a lot of license here. Not left with a lot of records, notes. So
Oh,
Pretty much
okay.
it was
All right.
Clean slate.
go for it, bro. And I'm like, thanks, man. I will.
Yeah.
So Cloudland fits like let's just go over like what I mean here. Cloudland fits tropical hazy, but it's not what it was before because I'm the one making it. And I mean, I think it, fits the description right on the nose, but same thing with lager where, hey, it's crisp, it's clean. Okay, well, now it's, all premium German malt and all German hops. It's not like the American light lager kind of feel, I think, that it was before. And yeah, I mean, I'm a Boyle boy. So
The Boyle Boys. Yes, we like those folks.
You did come from a Boyle Boy palace, basically,
Yeah.
previously.
And
so.
I've been taunting the guys at Pontoon that I make bigger stouts than them, and I'm happy to show it. So, like,
Oh boy.
I'm all about it.
Throwing down the gauntlet.
Look, I am the brewer that loves all that stuff that brewers in their own subreddits and everything are like, ugh, I hate this. Like, no, give me a hazy IPA or a treated stout. I will drink it like who I'm making it for. I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah.
Like, I am not a pretentious, if it's not a lager, I'm not going to drink it kind of guy.
I like that that's
Andrew,
the pretentiousness now. Is the lager, is the pretentiousness where it used to be the other way around.
Yeah, I love me a crispy, boy, I'm all about it. It's just why when you're making all this other stuff, like, you might as well embrace it.
That's kind of my thing, Andrew, is like, look, you know what? You don't like pastry stouts? Okay, don't drink them.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy enough. You don't like to brew pastry stouts? Don't brew them.
Don't brew them.
But if someone wants to enjoy that and have fun with that, I will tell you, this is one we were talking with our brewer buddy. Shout out to Stan. Stan's actually our newest Patreon supporter.
He is.
Joined up. He's been in the Discord chats with us. But we got to talking about brewing different beers, crazy styles. Brian, you found dill pickle flavored hot sauce.
I did, yes.
And dill pickle flavored ranch. So we dove into this deep conversation of just ridiculous beers. And I think if you start talking ridiculous beers, Martin House is going to slide into that conversation.
Okay.
So, they did a buffalo wing beer and a ranch beer. They've done a hot dog water glizzy seltzer, I think it was.
Gosh. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I know somebody did an actual hot dog water beer. It wasn't Martin House for once, but it was it was a chain out of like Pennsylvania.
We had, I'm forgetting the name, but one of our little rural breweries here did one with some hot dog water too. And I'm just, like I said,
I was gonna say, is that I was gonna say, is that Printer's Ale or like Left Hand or not Left Hand? That's a different.
That's not ours.
Yeah,
Brian.
that's somebody else's.
But my point being, you know what? If you want to brew it. Now there is one thing I said about Martin House, and I think I made this comment on someone else's post, and Martin House actually came in and made a comment, and I said, you know what? If they want to brew these beers, then brew them.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun with them. The thing is hopefully they realize this stuff is a fad. It just is. You're not going to be able to set your brewery permanently on ranch wing beers. And a brewery that does those ridiculous kind of beers, if they want longevity, they have to be good brewers. You have to be able to make a lager, an IPA, this and that. And they chimed in and mentioned just, hey, we've got a solid one rated so-and-so on Untapped and all this. So they did say, look, they've got the solid foundation, because I've seen breweries that have tried to live just on fad and hype, and it just doesn't work.
It does really well for a while, but then when the fad runs out, then if they don't find the next fad immediately, which may be completely the opposite, they're done. And I got to say, though, that Martin House is, I know they've been doing the fad beers for a long time. As far as I can tell, they still sell out so fast.
They do. Yeah, people are still on it, and good for them, man. Go out and enjoy it. That's we get grief, Brian, for some of the stuff we drink, that we'll have we'll try what was the chili cheese beer.
Oh, the chili cheese beer.
Have you had the chili cheese beer? I think
No.
we may have a can in the fridge here, man. So we'll hook
we
you
might
up,
have a Fritos, chili cheese beer or
but
whatever that is.
You know what?
I'm curious.
Have fun with it. Enjoy it. I like to go out on a Saturday, Sunday, sit around and watch dog competitions at Halfway Crooks on the patio while sipping lager. You know? I like to sit around with buddies on a Saturday evening having 2-ounce pours of 14 to 18% stouts as well. That's a good time.
Oh, you like the light stouts?
The light stouts, yeah.
I don't even get out of bed until
stouts.
they hit 20%.
That's because you can't, man.
That's true. That's a very good
those
point.
20%ers. But yeah, brew what you like, drink what you like, and don't be pompous about people that do the other stuff.
We should talk about. We should definitely talk about the beer we're drinking now. This is the Chasing Satellites. Is this a new creation of yours, or is this something that all right.
So 8% double IPA, Rickow, Nectaron, and Waiti hops, hopped at like 4 pounds a barrel. It's it's a big boy. So
okay. We were just noticing that we're. Would you like to taste mine, Tim? Sorry,
I didn't get any of the latest beer, and I was trying to quietly motion to Brian to hand me some, and he pointed to the empty can that I just tried to pick up. So
I didn't see that. I apologize to him, but
okay.
you can sip on some of mine.
We're gonna get this all figured out, man. We're gonna get this all figured out right now.
You said Nectaron though, so
Nectaron.
Yeah, that's one I keep seeing. That's a very
cool
much
one.
a hype one right now.
Oh man, is it?
Yeah,
The
it is.
That is probably my probably my favorite New Zealand hop at this point. Opening up all 3 of those different varieties, I was like, oh yes, here it is. I have arrived to heaven.
All the New Zealand goodies. Y'all, we need to take a break. I'm going to get some more of this beer, and we'll be back right after this.
Okay, we should be clear.
There we go.
Okay.
It took me a second. Oh, that's right. I have to push that button.
I was like, I think I could see.
Like, why
I
is
could
everyone
see you
staring at
checking
me?
the filing cabinet to see which one.
Yeah,
that
hang on a
task was
second.
in.
That was on fire. No,
So-
that's not it.
Stephen, we're going to need you to email us a copy of the doctor's note
Kettle
for your
Rock.
tardiness.
Yeah, it's like
And,
yes. We were
good
expecting.
to see you, but we will need a tardy slip
Yeah,
to
tardy
excuse
slip.
this here. So hope you're doing well, Stephen. Cheers to Kettle Rock. Kettle rocking.
Yeah, we should have grabbed 2. Yeah, you only grabbed the one.
You only grabbed the one.
Yeah.
You
Well,
did that
yeah, I
yourself.
mean-
This is on you.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's just because the pace I'm drinking at.
All right, give me back my beer. Okay, or finish it. One of the two.
That's lighter than I expected. For some reason, I figured it would be.
The heavy, like
Little heavier.
malty. Yeah.
So are we going nuts now? We're going into the 4th segment. So
Yeah,
it
if you want
seems like
to,
that's
let's
where
go.
we should head.
Nuts,
Sure.
nuts. That's just the name of the beer. I'm not chanting. Yeah.
It's like I for every beer, I don't typically it'll probably have in on it. In for nuts.
And for nuts.
Not O for Oreo.
There is an Oreo one on there, but I think the nuts one is.
This, I think the Sharpie must have been a little scraggly because it's a little fuzzy. The writing is.
Yeah.
Ow.
You know what? Tim finds a lot of writing lately to be very fuzzy. Yeah, just kind of like people like to like draw either like double for some reason or like they use a super like I think they're drawing with like Q-tips or writing with Q-tips because it's just like fuzz, right?
I was kind of thinking maybe Lens Crafters is due a visit or something. If
I
everything
doubt-
is fuzzy,
Stay out
you
of
know?
this. You stay out of this.
I doubt that's it. I'm sure that's not it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've never mentioned that before. Sure, that's
it's
not
one
it.
of those things like I need to check because I've got insurance for all of that stuff. I'm like, I need to check. It's just pure laziness.
He's also got denial for all of that. So both insurance and denial covered.
I'm not in denial. I know my eyes need checked, but I just it's not denial when I know I'm making up shit.
Yeah. So when I know I'm not doing what I should be doing, I was thinking. Now I'm just hear me out. You
Shut your mouth.
You could go to Walmart
Shut
or
your
something
mouth.
and just
You know,
get the
I
readers
wondered-
from the Walmart. Just find ones that work and then bam, throw them
Because
on.
that's like we'll be driving down the interstate and I'll see a sign and read it, and Brian's like, "You can read that." So I have no problem with stuff like way off, but you get up in reading distance, it'll get a little fuzz on me.
You know, the crazy thing is, as I've gotten older, like glasses or contacts, if I have them in and try to do close up stuff, I need to just take them off. So I kind of almost need bifocals, but I'm nearsighted. Like if I took it off, if I have glasses on, I'll just lift the glasses up, look at something, and I can see it like right on the edge of my nose, just about. But the problem is any distance. So the eyes don't make the adjustment like they once did when I was younger. I used to have full range. Like I could look really up close with these on, and I'm wearing contacts right now, if you couldn't tell. And then at a distance, so I could see everything. And then it's become like, well, I can only really see distant. Nearsighted, near up stuff, it gets blurry and painful.
I've turned into the old dude you see in memes that's got his phone light on trying to read the menu. It's like, why is it so dark in here? Why is this? Why don't they have this? Why I can't even read the menu in here. What are they doing?
I solve my problem by going places, and I'll just I'll walk up to it. Like if there's a menu, a lot of times for whatever reason, places I like to go will have their beer list will be on a chalkboard in one part of the place. I'll walk over and take a picture. I don't have to worry then about how my eyes work. I'll just zoom in on the picture on my thing.
Yeah.
So I'll just anything that I want to look at and refer to later, I'll just take a picture of it. I'm just like, boom. Nobody needs to know. It's like I'm looking at my phone.
The
It's
adaptability
boom,
of our species, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I've outsourced my eyeballs to my phone. I don't even need them barely. So
meanwhile, I have 20/20, and I'm sorry to gloat. You know, it's
I
wonderful,
used to
you
back
know?
in you young whippersnapper in your 20/20 vision.
Yeah, I'll use it while I got it.
let's see
That's
how good
Yeah.
your eyes are at the end of this nuts.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
Well, that's everything, man. I mean, when you're younger, knees work like the way knees are supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, eyes work the way the eyes are supposed to. Back in the day.
correct.
You can get 2 hours sleep and you're ready to go again. Not anymore. No moss, Brian. No moss.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I remember the days when I was still dumb enough to try to go out on a weeknight, go out clubbing, drink with the guys and hang out and then go to the work the next day. Hangover still stuck when I was young.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was still a struggle to get through it. It wasn't like I was bulletproof back then. I remember some of those. I'm like, this is rough. This is rough. They're expecting me to be here, and I didn't want to call in sick, but I should have probably just called in sick.
I have never in my life been good at recovering for a day after intense drinking session of more drinking. That is not my forte.
Yeah.
I don't. Nope. I need a bunch of Zaxby's, just grease upon grease to recover from that, you know? So, yeah.
I think the first sign that I was getting too old for this crap, as they say, is I drank really heavily on a Friday and still had a very bad hangover on Sunday.
Oh, that's rough.
So, yeah. And at the time I had to work on Sunday. I had to call into work on a Sunday from a Friday night drinking hangover. So it was the first time in my life I call a multi-day. Like the next day I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
I have, you know what? I still actually, like, if I really tie one on, now I don't tie one on to the point of blacking out typically.
Right.
I'm not that crazy.
Yeah.
But also my tolerance is probably a little on the high side, but I run out of time in beer before I run out of desire to drink it. And I just like, all right, I got to go to bed. But I still, the day after, like if I tie one on a Saturday, Mondays, I'm not going to be up. I'm not going to be 100% on Monday, but I'm not going to be hung over either. There's a difference. Like there's tiredness. There's kind of like, I'm just not quite 100%.
And see, you're a marathon drinker. Even as you get more tipsy, you don't really start hammering, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not a shooting. I've never been a slamming drinker. Typically,
nope.
Every now and then, like around Oktoberfest, when you get those big glasses, I have done, but they're like 4%, 5% beers, and so I'll be waterlogged before I could possibly ever get hammered. So even then, I don't. No, I've always been a slow drinker. I pour myself a good beer. I'll sit there and watch TV, and it'll take me 45 minutes to finish the beer. But I'll be drinking it the whole time, and then I'll crack open another one. I can be drinking for hours, but hours might mean 2 or 3 beers, So
see, that's my thing is I'll start off easy, drinking like with the lager here. I was like 3 segments in, still sipping my first beer. But once I hit a certain point of buzzedness, it's like the long ski jump that it just starts flying downhill there, and they start. And I also will go from beer to, we got Fireball, something like that. So my best way to stay out of that kind of trouble is to just slow it down to where I never get to that point. Because if I don't hit that point, then I don't, accelerate.
Tim is fun when you see the switch has been thrown, because that's when we'll be talking and he starts pouring like a pint full of Irish whiskey. It's like, he's hit that point. It's on now. That's what that means. It's on.
Yeah.
I pretty much stick in the beer lane. I don't venture out to liquor all that much.
Probably for the best, right?
Yeah.
Say we do have a complete liquor selection over there. We could entice you to come over to the dark side.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can usually be drug along into things that I shouldn't
It's like,
do,
not more alcohol. Ow, stop. Okay, fine.
He's like, I wasn't looking to go there.
On
But you can.
On a side note, I do think this is the Oreo one, and I may have mislabeled.
Okay,
So I'm sorry, but we'll have to drink another one, guys.
Oh no!
Oh no!
When I took a sip of this, I'm like, that's really tasty, but I get absolutely zero nuts.
Right.
So
I've been distracted by the talking, but yeah, I get the chocolate cookie.
Mhm.
I get a lot of the very strongly the chocolate cookie part out of
okay,
it.
so we're sipping.
Yeah. All right. So it's Oreo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No one's
Well,
mad about that.
Here I thought it was going to be all nuts. But
Well,
it's
how
not.
about we
You know.
whip up this fourth segment here?
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Let's do that.
Mm-mm.
What are we planning on getting into in the fourth segment? Are just
We can
winging
talk
it?
about the fest coming up, and
Festival?
then talk a little bit more about the beers. I think is a
Okay.
good thing to do.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's do that. Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. If you enjoy the show, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Beer Guys. Patrons get cool perks like Beer Guys swag and commercial-free episodes. Now let's get back to Steady Hand.
Steady Hand, Andrew Wenk, head brewmaster, slam. And that may have been a
I love
haiku,
that.
don't you think?
I think it is
so.
a haiku. Yeah.
So, but we are drinking right now. We're drinking an Oreo stout, which we thought was going to be nuts, but we grabbed the wrong can, or it was labeled wrong.
No, that was my fault.
Something in those
Totally
lines.
my
but,
fault.
But either way, how about telling us a little bit about this one that we're drinking then?
Ooh, this is an Oreo stout. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So boiled for 18 hours.
Ooh.
That was a long day. But I'm really glad with how everything came out. Oreo stout is we basically did like a bunch of small batch, 2 or 3 quarter barrels worth, just so that we could, feature something for Annie. And we're going to be doing regular releases throughout the year, but the stout is just on a copious amount of Oreos, and I'm not mad about that. I threw in some Oreo fudge, a lot of that, and a little bit of vanilla as well, just to give you a little, softening between the stout.
So actual Oreos,
Mm-hmm.
actual fudge
Mm-hmm.
in this beer, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I would never do it any other way.
All right.
So,
I'm disappointed this isn't thicker now that I hear that. I should be able to like coat the back of a spoon with it like a nice gravy.
yeah, it's whenever I do a 24 or 32 hour boil, I'll get there. I feel like I need to be able to have someone watch the deck whenever I take a nap at that point. though.
Yeah. I feel like that we need to get all the long boil brewers together for a festival. I think Pontoon may have kind of did that.
Brownie
right?
Bash?
Yeah, Brownie Bash is
That's kind of a long boil fest, right?
Mhm.
Yes, I think it was featuring a lot of beers that did have a long boil. I think it was very stout friendly. So, and there was some beers that weren't stouts at all, probably weren't long boiled at all. So it wasn't exclusively that, but it was heavy on boil.
Heavy there.
Heavy on boil.
there.
I was just looking at this beer. I'm like, let's see if it's got legs, because the longer ones do. This has a little bit of color coating.
It
to the
does. I
glass.
see it
So
painting your
it's-
glass over there.
I believe that. This does say more than a couple of hours worth of boil to me.
Yeah.
for sure.
It finished at like 14 Play-Doh. I don't know what the FG is, so please, if you need to convert that, 15 Play-Doh. Just move along. It's big.
For a short period of time, I had memorized what the formula was to convert it to OG, FG, that sort of thing, and I've forgotten what it was.
We'll make it through
Yeah.
this though. That's
one way
Now-
we'll do that.
And Andrew, we'll try this. We may not get a chance to try it on the show here, but can you go ahead and tell us about nuts?
Nuts, as it has been named. So it's chock full of macadamia, almond, coconut, cacao nib, a little bit of cinnamon, and marshmallows as
Okay.
well.
That sounds
So,
tasty.
Yeah.
It is decadent. Going to CBC 2 years ago out in Denver, it really opened my eyes being there with the Weldworks, 8th State,
Little
Mosca.
Medianoche, right? I think that's Weldworks stout.
They're
Oh
just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing on getting that big viscosity, big flavor, not having your beer interact in a harsh way or inappropriate way with other ingredients or adjuncts. And oh man, just picking their brains and taking that in, and that's like what the product that I'm able to produce is off of, their words. And
so since we're diving into long boil talk here a little bit, I know that
Sure.
one of the goals with the long boil is you're concentrating the wort more, so you're going to get a thicker beer.
Yeah.
You're going to get that thickness, the mouthfeel that we're looking for. What else with a super long boil, like an 18+ hour boil? What do you get out of that?
Caramelization. So you're going to alter flavors of the wort that way. So you're not just getting higher gravity, but more complexity. God, what else? Typically, so the longer you boil, the more your pH drops and drops and drops, which lower pH, typically a drier kind of perception on your palate, maybe. So you got to counter that. But yeah, it's just what long boil is all about, that ABV and that big body through caramelization and like Maillard reactions and everything. So,
All the bigness, right?
Yep.
Does it change anything with the fermentability of the wort?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've made a beer so thick that you couldn't see oxygen flowing through it whenever the oxygen tank was at like 60 psi. So,
Okay.
That's
All
kind of
right.
cool. Like the oxygen just sits on top of it because the beer's
It won't.
heavy.
It
So-
won't push it.
Let me
It's
get a slice of
impenetrable.
that stout, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Like yeast is like whenever you go to crash a big heavy stout, sometimes yeast just hangs out in the solution for a little bit longer because it's so thick and it just doesn't want to drag itself down. And it's, I get entertained by that. Like the bigger, the more fun to me.
I was gonna
So-
say you're entertained, but when the beer just sits and sits and sits and sits even longer, I'm sure that starts becoming less entertaining.
If
over
you're
time.
going that big though, you're barrel aging. I went with like a 10.5% range is what my target was for this one. It's not like the big 14s or 13.9. Sorry. But yeah, I don't have a barrel program yet, but one day soon, hopefully. That's a goal of mine. Because
as a counterpoint, I'm sorry, did I cut you
no,
off?
you're good.
Oh,
You're good.
As a counterpoint, I saw something recently, an article I read that was talking about the advantages of no boil beers as leaving in a lot of body and that being advantageous to stouts. Have you ever tried a no boil beer, and would you ever consider doing one as a stout and seeing how that comes out? I've only ever had one. I'm going to say that, so I don't know what I think about the concept. Are you familiar with it?
So no, I'm not familiar with it. Would I do it? I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? When? I have no idea. I got a lot of reading to do, but it's that's an interesting concept. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there has to be a problem there at some point.
So there were a little bit
boil.
of you know what? Interestingly enough, I used our new friend Chat GPT on this. And I
Oh.
went into Chat GPT and I said, "Is it safe to drink a no boil beer?" Guys, I got to say, he gave a pretty nice, detailed answer with backstory and whys and that. So the short of it is, a no boil beer, you can leave bad things in your wort, so you can get where not only would the beer sour, but could become unsafe to drink. Because, that is one thing with boiling, you're sterilizing, you're adding the hops in there that do all that. So that is one thing. But Brian, to follow up to that, you said you've heard that some of these no boil beers, they don't boil them, but they do raise the temperature to a pasteurization level.
Correct. The article I was reading about that, and it's a good point. If you don't apply some heat, and I think it's dangerous potentially not to. The article I read, I think it said either 15 minutes or 30 minutes of 180 degrees. So not boiling temperature,
Sure.
but clearly pasteurization temperature. Now it's not going to do the things. There's not going to be like a protein break or anything like that. So you've got all of that extra stuff in the beer. And like I said, I've only ever had one. And I think it was from Sabbath, actually. Jeffrey made one before Sabbath existed. It was kind of a homebrew or something like that. But yeah, anyway, but the idea is really interesting. And they were saying this is potentially a very interesting thing for people brewing stouts to try out. And I have no idea if it would turn out, because you're leaving stuff in there that are going to be flavor compounds that may or may not be good in a stout. They may or may not be good in a variety of beers. It's kind of undiscovered country or something
I
like
think
that.
that someone needs to take like the same base recipe and go no boil, long boil.
Yeah.
Like split it and go both directions with it and see what you end up with.
I'd be really curious, like what your wort tastes like before a boil, before all
Yeah,
that
right?
caramelization and everything. Like, are you going to get the same effect, or is it going to be like strictly the roast from the grain? And
So I wonder with something
going
like
off of
that,
sugar.
yeah, because you wouldn't be getting all of the caramelization, you wouldn't get the Maillard reaction. So maybe it's like a what they call the white stout or whatever that people were doing, or maybe like a wheat wine type of thing, or barley wine is a possibility. Like I think there are things to try. I've yet to see anybody actually do it. So that's
Be fun to check out and see what happens. Andrew, we're about out of time here. Thank you so much for joining and hanging out with us. If people want to find out about what is happening at Steady Hand Beer Company, what's the best way for them to do that?
Oh gosh, please follow us on Instagram at Steady Hand Beer Co. Come by the brewery. We're putting out new stuff. I'm very proud of everything that we're doing here.
Good deal.
That's
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Andrew. Appreciate it, man.
You.
That about wraps it up for this episode of the Beer Guys Radio Show. Come hang with us next week as we talk Colorado beer. We're going to have the Guild on, Brian, from Colorado. Cool. For more craft beer info, follow us online. We are Beer Guys Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, and don't forget to drink local. Cheers. Boom. Dun, 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 dun.
We are clear. We have done a show.
Wow.
Show has been done.
That went by so quickly.
Yes, it did.
Man, it does. I must have chugged like a whole.
Tim is like, well, you did say you go through 2 gallons of water. I didn't realize he went through 2 gallons of water right before the recording. So this is not the nuts as we've determined, and it's the Oreo.
Take note.
Is there another one in there that could be nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we still have a chance.
We have it.
Oh, okay.
And please, when you take that last 1 or 2 sips, remember the viscosity of that one, and then compare it to the nuts.
I was going to ask, are they the same? Are they the same base beer, or they're just completely different? Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Okay. But you get potentially some more oils from the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Nuts are cool.
Oh yeah, no, I love nuts.
Yeah, I am all about them. I think it really elevates the stout game. I can't quite remember the one.
Andrew, I'm all about nuts. Wank.
Absolutely. Yeah. Put that on my business card. I don't care.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, you could probably ask them to do that. I'm all about nuts.
Yeah. I need a business card. I'm waiting on that, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Just write it in. Just I'm all about nuts. So like, did you write this on all of your? Yeah, I just want people to know I'm all about nuts.
I love nuts. Yep.
What were the nuts again? It's like macadamias and what?
Yeah, macadamia, almond, coconut.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I used all my peanuts in my peanut butter stout, and I was like, oh shit, I should have. Sorry. Shoot.
Well, no, we're just live streaming now, so that's
great.
That's
now
safe.
I can be profane. That's
cool. We'll try not to be.
I won't be. But
the delicate,
sorry about that.
Delicate listening audience here. That might be unsettled by all of your salty language, sir.
But yeah, I'm salty nuts, and
that's right. Mm-hmm. Salty, nutty language.
My
there's a little bit more left in it.
Hey, there you
Hang
go.
on a second. Oh, hello. Hello, Oreo. How have you been?
Love a good Oreo stout.
So what is a pastry stout that you would like to try making that you haven't done yet? Since let's forget about like everything prior to Steady Hand, because you did I'm sure you did a bunch of really fun stuff there. But if you're like for Steady Hand, what's a pastry stout you want to do?
It would be cool to do like a chocolate covered strawberry or something like that. I know that's not pastry, but
a chocolate cherry like Bonbon Cerise.
Bonbon Cerise was nice.
If we could get a local version of it that wasn't 17% that we could drink here, that would be very neat.
How was
I'll allow story.
Oh, it's
phenomenal.
Was it big cherry?
Oh, it was really well done.
Like tart or sweet cherry?
Sweet, like a cherry cordial.
Sweet with a tart.
Okay.
So, and good chocolate. It was bold but balanced is the way I would put it.
That's what
extremely well executed. Yeah, yes, cool. It was quite nice.
Bold but balanced.
Unfortunately, about 17%. And I don't know that was it Avery that did that. I don't know if they still even still make that one.
It was Avery.
It was that was an absolute home run of a beer, but our beer laws would keep us from getting it here, even if it were available.
Right.
Yep. y'all, let me wrap up the live stream here.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, thanks for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Andrew, everybody, say thank you to Andrew, and we'll be back next week. We're going to have a TBD Colorado brewer on with us.
Oh, okay.
And some from the guild talking Colorado beer. So it should
Excellent.
be a good time out there. But y'all have a good week. Enjoy. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.